at 6-2-7-5. Complete coverage on both those stories coming up on Sports Desk at 7 o'clock Eastern. Also, all the preparations heading into Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Dallas between the Devils and the Stars.
Racing in its purest form. Real cars on real roads, real fast. It's the Subaru Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to northwestern Alberta, the land of the Bighorn sheep. We're in Edson, 2 hours west of Edmonton for the Bighorn Rally. I'm Vic Rudder, along with rally expert Paul Chater.
And Vic, although Alberta has the best rally roads in North America, the sport still not as popular as it is in Eastern Canada. But we've got a record entry of 27 cars, and this event promises to be the most competitive in years.
Look, it's Eddie the Squirrel, the town mascot, and Mayor Kerry Mahan doing the ceremonial start. And as usual, starting number 1 will be Canada's only FIA-seated driver, Frank Sprongel. He and brother Dan are the 6-time Canadian champions and the defending North American champions as well.
And Vic, their Audi S2 Quattro is down to only 370 horsepower due to the high altitude here, about 1,500 meters. And they're starting on a soft compound Yokohama gravel tire.
And you'll notice a new paint job too.
Well, Vic, they're out looking for a new sponsor now that BP has taken over Castrol, and they're no longer the dominant sign on the Audi. Instead, for the moment, 4-Star Racing, which is their own race shop.
The car number 2 is the Subaru Impreza WRX Tom McGeer and Mark Williams. They lead the Canadian Championship with a second-place finish in Quebec and a win at the Pierce-Neige. This first stage is 1.7K around Vision Park in Edson, and it gives the townspeople a chance to see the cars up close and at speed.
And Vic, this car looks like the same Subaru they've been racing for 3 years, but it's an all-new car with a 6-speed ProDrive drivetrain, Group A suspension and brakes, and when this car is fully sorted, it should be about as fast as any rally car on the continent. McGeer is originally from Montreal. He lives in Georgetown, Ontario, and Mark Williams, his co-driver, lives in Maryland, and they're running on Pirellis.
Now here comes Frank Sprongel approaching the flying finish. And he'll top out at 1:32, so that's the time to beat Frank Sprongel, 1:32.
Okay, we're back with McGeer and Williams now, and they're pretty well all-new Subaru.
In the number 3, it's Sylvain Vincent and Dominique Cyr from La Plaine.
Their Subaru Impreza RS 2.5. They're sponsored by Subaru La Chute and Yokohama. They've got the same tires as the Sprongels, and it's interesting to note that they've finished 3rd in both rallies so far this year.
À gauche, en haut de la côte. Gauche.
As we listen to co-driver Dominique Cyr, if I remember my Francais, à gauche is left, à droite is right. The time to beat 1:32 as we pick up McGeer coming to the finish line, 1:32. It's the Sprongels on top, 1:32, dead heat. 1:32, so the Sprongels and the McGeer car are tied.
Amazing. Car 4, Perry Sander Latreille from Williamstown, Ontario. In an Eagle Talon, this car's had a lot of work done on it since the last event. 400 horsepower with an anti-lag system on the turbo, which now sounds kind of terrible, but it's making the car much easier to drive. Barry is much more comfortable on the gravel than on ice, and so he's led this event before, but he's never won it, and he's running on Yokohamas.
And fair to say that they are the king and queen of the privateers. Remember now, we have 2 cars tied at 1:32 in this first stage. Sprongels and McGeer to the line in 1:33, just 1 second off the pace. Vincent and Cyr.
This is going to be close. Jean-Marc Alcaraz from Saint-Lambert-de-Lévis and Shirley Normandin from Laval. A Mazda 323 GTR. It's an ex-World Rally Championship car. Bought Jamaica. The engine develops 417 horsepower. This car was practically undrivable on ice and snow, but the high-speed roads of Alberta should suit this weapon very well, and they're running on Michelin.
So in the case of winter driving, just too much power can't get it down. Here they can.
Absolutely. On these kinds of roads, long, fast, wide, fairly smooth. They can use the power.
All right, coming to the line, it's the Latrays. 132, the time to beat. Here are the Latrays to the line, and they've done it. 131, so the Latrays move into first place by a second.
Wow, we're back with Alcaraz now.
And now we're not hearing any kind of chatter between the two, and I'm wondering if there's some kind of maybe intercom problem, some communication problem in the car, as they try and sort it out with hand gestures. Get going, get going, get going. You can see it as they come to the line. They won't beat the time. 135. So through the first stage, it's Barry and Sandra Latray who lead by a second. Rally on TSN is brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radials. Yokohama, now you've got control. And by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Introducing Stop Leak, the incredible sealant from SuperTech. We sprayed an ordinary screen with Stop Leak, and look, not enough air gets through to blow out a candle. Cracks in basement walls, Stop Leak seals them instantly. Fix drain leaks in hard-to-reach places so fast and easy. Around the motorhome, the boat, the cottage, or your trailer, Stop Leak has 1,001 uses. Stop Leak, the miracle sealant from SuperTech.
Available at Canadian Tire, Zellers, PV Mart, Best Value, McDermott Lumber, Kent Building Supplies, and the Real Canadian Superstore.
Hey, these pictures bring back some good old road trip memories, and believe me, road trips with guys like these are memories that can last a lifetime. Hey, and you can make your own memories with Bits and Bytes Great Canadian Hockey Road Trip. Yeah, your chance to win a one-week trip with 3 of your buddies to follow your favorite Canadian team anywhere in North America, or one of the 30 TSN bags. To enter, you gotta call this number with the barcode from any of these snacks, and you never know, you might get lucky. Are these guys beautiful or what?
Matthew Houston, Esquire.
Don Oswerk, Esquire.
Meet the Esquire collection.
Jean Blenderleaf, Esquire.
Patrick Hodge, Esquire.
A line of fashionable Swiss watches designed for Canadians with things to do and dreams to chase.
Sandy Holly, Esquire. Michael Davidson,
Esquire. José Lavigueur, Esquire.
The Esquire 9500 SLX, solid stainless steel with analog and digital quartz chronograph. Esquire watch. It has your name on it.
Imagine, if you will, driving in a world where tires from Yokohama dominate the track with speed, grip, and control. Imagine what this can mean to you. Greater stopping distance, more response, more of the kind of performance you want most in a tire. Imagine. Fantasy? I don't think so. It's Yokohama. Yokohama. Now you've got control.
And we welcome you back to the Bighorn Rally here in Alberta. Jean-Marc Alcaraz, Shirley Normandin on this 9.3 kilometer stage 4, which they call Pine Creek.
This rally is turning into a four-way battle between the Sprongles Audi, the Subarus of Vincent Maguire, and this Mazda. The first 3 stages have had 3 different winners. Alcaraz wins the stage, but not by much.
Tom Maguire in the number 2 Subaru finished just 1 second back.
And let's see how closely matched Sprongle and Vincent actually are. Here's a split screen. Vincent on the top, Sprongle's on the bottom. You can hear Dominic Cyr shouting instructions.
Dans 2 chicanes, garde à gauche.
2 chicanes coming up.
Well, look at the difference at the first stage. Sorry for the interruption, but it's Sprongel who's back by 2 seconds at the first intermediate time.
You hear Dominic warn about these artificial chicanes put in the road. They're trying to keep the speed on these stages down to an average of 120 kilometers an hour.
Now, if you hit one of those chicanes, if you hit one of the little barriers, it's an automatic 15-second penalty. But what you do notice is they bring the speed right down. I mean, that now becomes a first gear situation.
Absolutely, and that's 15 seconds per one that they hit, Vic. So they've got to be very careful through those chicanes.
Courbe droite, c'est dans 3.
Now remember, the Sprongles were down by 2 seconds at the first split time.
Look at them in this turn. almost identical.
Oh, and the times are identical as the Sprongles have somehow made up that 2 seconds, but a different line right there through that left. And it is interesting, the apex is different for Sprongle. He seems to take it a little wider.
He's keeping the car out a little wider. Vincent's tucking it in. He's used up a little bit extra road there as well.
Coming up to the finish, getting closer, you see the yellow board, now the red board, 5:25, dead even. The top 4 cars on this 4th stage all within 1 second of each other. Here are the top 10 through the first 4 stages.
The Sprongles lead 13 seconds back. Tom McGear and Mark Williams in their Subaru Canada entry.
The Subaru La Chute entry of Vincent are not expected to be this fast, but they're third, 2 seconds behind.
Alcarez and Normandin 5 seconds farther back in their Mazda GTR.
Barry and Sandra Latre can't believe it. Their Eagle is working, they're flying, but 4 cars ahead of them. Haven't made a mistake, 14 seconds back.
6th place, the local team of Janis Komorowski and Thomas Karzinski. They're leading the production GT class.
Patrick Richard, Ian McMurdy, Vancouver in their RS 2.5.
8th overall, first in Group 2 two-wheel drive, locals from Brooks, Alberta, Gord and Kathy Olson.
And 9th spot, currently held by Mark Racine, Luc Pichet in their GT Class Subaru Legacy Turbo, tied with Eric Tremblay and Bill Westhead. 4 GT cars in the top 10. This is the Canadian Rally Championship on TSN.
This one's done.
Huh? Yeah, whatever.
The totally restyled all-wheel drive Subaru Forester. As easy on the eyes as it is on the road.
I'd like to make something perfectly clear. You're watching CLR Powerhouse Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner as it instantly dissolves soap scum, mineral deposits, and stains from shower doors, ceramic and plastic tile. All you do is spray and wipe. CLR self-cleaning action does the rest. And CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner's self-cleaning action works just as fast on that grimy bathtub ring you normally have to rub and scrub. It's the ideal cleaner for cabinets and laminated surfaces. And it works just as fast and easy on all appliances. Don't spend your valuable free time rubbing and scrubbing when CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner works so fast and easy. Now you can get your sinks, showers, bathtubs, appliances, and cabinets powerhouse clean with biodegradable CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner. Best of all, it's guaranteed to work for you at home as fast and easy as it does on TV, or return to place of purchase for a full refund.
At participating Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, Co-op stores, Revy Home and Garden, Pro Hardware, Do-It Centers, True Value Hardware, Beaver Lumber, Zellers.
The roar of a crowd.
Canada's team.
Canada's team. The here.
It's the Jays and the Expos.
It's a good day
to play ball. It's on TSN today.
See it.
Live it.
TSN.
Welcome back to Alberta, everyone. McRoder along with Paul Chater, and this is the Bighorn Rally on TSN.
And we're on stage 6, Deer Hill, and the Sprongles are leading in their Audi S2. That's nothing new, but what has changed is the level of the competition behind them. Frank is having to go flat out because there are now 4 other cars capable of winning stages just behind him. On this 13K stage, Sprongle could manage no better than 3rd best time. McGear would win at an average speed of 116 Ks. Vincent was second, 3 seconds slower.
There's a great battle. Top 4 cars. We're swapping seconds, 2-3 seconds on 15 kilometers. So it's a great challenge for a change. That we haven't seen that in Canadian rallying in a few years, I'll tell you. It's a great battle. For me, it's enjoyable. It forces you to go harder. So if I go harder, the car behind me goes harder. So everybody's pushing to new limits and new heights of driving. So it's a great challenge for everybody.
Sylvain Vincent is hanging on to 2nd place with just a 3-second margin over McGear. Now, the key here, the engine, Paul, is overheating, and they can't afford to back off. So what they've done now is they've put the heater on full, trying to get rid of the heat, but at the same time, then the interior temperature comes up to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
And what makes it worse, when they crack the windows just a tad, the car fills with dust. So, I mean, this is a lose-lose situation for them. Look at the dust swirling around inside the cockpit here.
Now tell me something, why would Canadian rallying suddenly become so competitive?
Well, in actual fact, the Sprongles are running a fairly old car, and it's not getting any faster. But in the hiatus between the two winter rallies and this event here, the competitors have suddenly found more sponsorship. They've had time for development in new cars. They're making them faster, and actually what they're doing is catching the Sprongles.
Tom McGeer goes on to win the stage. He loves this new Impreza, completely different than the WRX. Better brakes, more powerful engine, new transmission. He loves the car, he loves the competition.
It's pretty impressive. Sylvain is really flying, and Jean-Marc's always a threat. But, you know, we're just learning the car, trying to get things sorted out, so it's going to take a little bit of time. The car's so much different than it was in the last year that I find I'm probably over-braking a little bit, just not trying hard enough. But, you know, it'll all come in time.
Now, this is something unique to Tom McGeer, and it's the one-handed driving.
Well, picture yourself in the cockpit of a 747, which is where McGeer spends most of his time when he's not in a rally car. And he's used to having his left hand on the yoke and his right hand free for the throttles and the display switches and everything else. So he's used to handling complex machinery with his left hand.
Jean-Marc Alcaraz is another happy driver. New sponsorship from DCA Transport. Jean-Marc has got that Mazda also running reliably now.
Yeah, and his only problem has been the intercom between driver and co-driver, so Shirley's having to use hand signals to show the way. Jean-Marc would finish the stage fourth quickest, 4 seconds behind the Sprongles.
Now again, we can't hear anything, and they can't hear anything, and you see the hands waving. How much time do you think that would cost them?
I think it's a huge disadvantage. Sometimes you need the audible warning of panic in your co-driver's voice to know that there is a bad situation up ahead on the road.
Now you just look at their eyes. Barry and Sandra Latreille are also having a problem-free run. They're in 5th place currently, and the pace that Barry is driving at would usually, Paul, be good enough to win this rally.
Yeah, other drivers might consider backing off and hoping one of the faster teams in front would drop out, but not Barry. He came here to race. His blender only has one speed, pure A.
And it's nice to see because, again, we talk about these privateers. You don't see the major sponsorship on this car. They're out here because they love to go rallying. Patrick Richard has taken over the lead in production GT and has moved up to 6th overall in his 165 horsepower non-turbo Impreza.
And Vic, 165 might be charitable. This high altitude affects a normally aspirated car much more than a turbocharged vehicle, so he's probably well down on power.
The big story, though, for him is the fact that he's been rallying less than a year, this former Canadian snowboarding champion.
And he's leading class championships in both the U.S. and Canada.
And he's just fallen in love with the sport. Loves it there, but he did the good thing. I mean, that's showing some veteran skills. He kept his foot in it.
He did. He powered his way out of that one.
Second in GT class, the American team of Brian Scott, David Watts. They're from Michigan in the Eagletown. They trail Pat Richard by 37 seconds.
Komorowski Karzinski from Calgary, the top local team, running 3rd in the GT class.
And this fast pace has seemed to have affected everybody. The number 23, Miles Ewing and Ian Jansen in their VW Golf.
Long sweeping right. Ooh.
And long sweeping rollover, and thankfully they are all right. And the rally fans in Alberta, similar to those right across the country, there to help to move the car aside. And they actually will have this car repaired and ready to run in the Rocky Mountain Rally. You'll see it June 18th on TSN, just prior to the pre-race show for the Air Canada Grand Prix.
Well, we were coming up the hill here, and apparently we had a flat going into it and started to set up for the corner, and just as we were setting up, all of a sudden things went a little haywire, got a little upside down, a little too fast. Everything's okay. Gord's feeling fine. I'm feeling fine. So thanks to good safety equipment and thanks to all our sponsors, came out and put it all together for us.
All the Sprongles continue to lead, winning half of the stages so far, and slowly now building up the lead to 30 seconds.
Yeah, sometimes he wins all the stages and is able to pull away from the field almost at will, but today he's racing flat out, and it's a real treat to watch.
Is it the consistency of of the Sprongles and the way they manage both the driving and the navigation.
Well, it's that, and add to it the fact that they prepare the car. It's immaculately prepared. This car very rarely breaks. Plus, smooth, fast driving.
The stars of the rally, Vincent and Cyr.
Sylvain loves the really fast stages where his skill at carrying speed through the corners compensates for his lower horsepower. That's lower at 300 horsepower, by the way.
But what must be very nice for Vincent and Cyr or Tom McGeer is that, look, we can compete now.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, the closer you get, the faster you want to go. And these roads are ideal for Vincent. He just loves these fast, wide, very smooth gravel roads. Beautiful slide, the four-wheel drive working, coming out of the turn, getting power right down.
And we've seen that Tom McGeer's new Subaru is fast.
Well, and apparently the airspeed indicator in the helicopter is showing 100 miles an hour, and Tom is pulling away from the chopper.
Unbelievable. And to give you an indication of how fast, just look at the tap through the steering wheel.
That's 7,700 RPM in 6th gear. That translates to about 201 kilometers an hour.
He goes on to win the stage, the average speed, 132 kilometers per hour.
That is flying. Four-wheel drift all the way through the turn. Look at that, just textbook.
Jean-Marc Alcaraz won stages 8 and 9, and for the moment, he's in second place.
All the stuff in the car runs well, so I'm happy I can learn my car, and I think we're going to be fast this year with this car. We just have 2 seconds between me and Tom McGeer, so it's good.
And I don't know, maybe it's the mountain air, it's the lack of oxygen, but something has gotten into these people here at the Bighorn Rally. There's just one stage to go. 39 seconds covers the top four. New Yokohamas and a commercial break.
Hey, these pictures bring back some good old road trip memories, and believe me, road trips with guys like these are memories that can last a lifetime. Hey, and you can make your own memories with Edson Bike's Great Canadian Hockey Road Trip. Yeah, your chance to win a one-week trip with 3 of your buddies to follow your favorite Canadian team anywhere in North America, or one of the 30 TSN bags. To enter, you gotta call this number with the barcode from any of these snacks, and you never know, you might get lucky. Are these guys beautiful or what?
Imagine, if you will, driving in a world where tires from Yokohama dominate the track with speed, grip, and control. Imagine what this can mean to you. Greater stopping distance, more response, more of the kind of performance you want most in a tire. Imagine. Fantasy? I don't think so. It's Yokohama. Yokohama. Now you've got control.
The Subaru Forester has won award after award after award. So what have we done for an encore? Made it even better. Introducing the totally restyled Subaru Forester with our best all-wheel driving system ever. And the awards? Still plenty of cargo space to hold them all. Subaru Forester, sport utility tough, car easy.
Welcome back to the Bighorn Rally with just one stage to go. Frank and Dan Sprongle continue to lead, but not at their usual dominating level.
Right, Vic, they're being pushed much harder than usual, and the gap back to second place is rarely more than 20 seconds. 5 different teams have posted fastest stage times. The best battles for second place overall, where there's a 3-way battle raging.
And here it is on stage 7. Sylvain Vincent, the number 3 Impreza, held second spot, 8 seconds in front of Tom McGeer, who was a further 11 seconds ahead of Jean-Marc Alcaraz of the DCA Mazda.
On stage 8, Alcaraz posts a fast time, and all 4 cars are covered by just 4 seconds.
On stage 9, Alcaraz is fastest again, moves into second place, 1 second ahead of McGeer.
Stage 10, Vincent jumps to the front with a 3-second lead over Alcaraz. McGeer is 1 second behind.
Stage 11, McGeer moves into third place ahead of Alcaraz.
After stage 12, McGeer and Vincent were tied to the second.
13, and McGeer passes Vincent, pulls out a 4-second margin.
That's the way the order stayed until the final special stage. One last 9K racing section to run. Sprongel has a relatively safe lead of 35 seconds. McGeer is in second, 6 seconds ahead of Vincent and 15 ahead of Alcaraz.
But the car and the driver they're trying to catch is this man, Frank Sprongel, as he comes towards the flying finish.
He's past the warning board you see on the right side of the road. 5:48.
And so he will win it, his second win of the season. Frank and Dan Sprongel.
Oh, it was great. The competition all day was fabulous. We're swapping seconds, the top 4 cars, 2-3 seconds all day. So it was a great win today.
So Sprongel's your winner. The question, though, who will be second?
Sylvain Vincent arrives next. In order to finish second, Vincent has to beat Tom McGeer by 6 seconds on this stage. 5:41, 7 quicker than Sprongel, but is it fast enough?
We have to check about with Tom and Jean-Marc Alcaraz, so it's going to be very, very tight. Very, very tight. We have to check the watch.
Well, you pay the price in this rally, don't you? Look at the dirt and the sweat, and now we wait for the arrival of Tom McGeer. He has to be overall 5 seconds better to claim second place. He's slower on the stage, but he is better overall, and so second place will go to Tom McGeer here at the Bighorn.
I can't remember ever doing a rally where I was driving as fast at the end of the rally as I was at the beginning. You know, the fight goes right to the last stage. It was pretty impressive, and my hat's off to the competition. Really well done. I think for us, now that we got the car dialed in, we've got a bit more coming out of it, and I think that's enough to go after the head of the rally. I think Frank's only 30 seconds total ahead of us, so I mean, that's better than it's been in ages. So looks like it's going to be a great season.
Jean-Marc Alcaraz, Shirley Normandin are still trying to get on the podium. They trailed Vincent by 9 seconds at the start.
And as they come to the line in their 400-plus horsepower Mazda, watch for it now. Look at this blistering pace. They win the stage but finish fourth.
I don't know if I finished fourth or third, but it's a great rally, and I'm very happy about this rally, and I'm very happy about my car.
And we're happy about the competition. This is as close a rally we can remember for a long time. The Sprongels narrowly winning it.
Patrick Bouchard, Ian McCurdy win production GT for Subaru.
Gordon, Kathy Olson from Brooks, Alberta. They win Group 2.
Quebecers Steve Walkington and Haitham Mokhtar win production sport in their Volkswagen.
And once again, Mark Kravchuk and Arthur Troyanovich survive and win the class for cars under 1750cc in their 3-cylinder Subaru Justy. And after 3 events, just 2 points separating first and second. The Bighorn Rally on TSN has been brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radials. Yokohama, now you've got control. And by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive. Be sure to join us for our next event. It's the Rocky Mountain Rally, Sunday, June 18th on TSN. Now on behalf of Paul and our entire crew, I'm Vic Rauter. Thanks for joining us. The Canadian Rally Championship. You're watching TSN, Canada's most watched sports network.